What's up, family? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Amber the Alchemist, here to deliver some real shit for you on this new moon in Aries. Happy New Year, family. Y'all know how I be. I be dabbling in and out with my videos, dabbling in and out with my channel. And truth be told, I have not seen me because I have not had my nails done. You already know. If you are new here, then you should know by now that I'm just a vibe. We do vibes over here. And a vibe is not a vibe without fresh nails, you know? Or am I the only person like that does that? So I've been pivoting to kind of just doing more writing. I'll just give my little whole spiel now so I do not forget, because y'all know once I be tapped in, I'm tapped in. So first of all, do not believe the scammers. There's a lot of people out here that are spiritually attacking, that are psychically attacking the spiritual community, out here scamming, taking our photos, posing to be us. Real healers, real diviners, we do not solicit. Our clients come to us. So if anyone is out there taking my photos and messaging you like, Grand Rising Goddess, I felt your energy. No, that is not me. That is not her. Please, 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 please do not trust the fakes. Do not give anyone your money, and use your discernment. If you have to ask, it's a fake. I only have one page. 2, if these messages are resonating with you, then my details for my Cash App, my Venmo, and my PayPal are in the description box. So you guys, if you want to return the energy exchange, you can send some gratitude my way. I'm always appreciative. And if you really, really want to tap in with your girl, then of course you can do a one-on-one spirit medicine with me, an ancestor medicine session with me. And you can also I offer pre-recorded readings for my international base, or just those that want to kind of tap in their own time. And I also do fashion, beauty, and wellness business forecasts. So if you are a boss bitch in those industries and you're really trying to take an intuitive approach to bossing up, then link up with your girl and yeah, we could get it popping. So before I dive into this reading, I want you guys, you've had enough time, me yapping off, you've had enough time to kind of sit with these cards and just see, like, is there anything that is calling you? Are any of these crystals calling you? So right here, we have this beautiful, beautiful citrine. It's actually smoky citrine. Smoky citrine. And then we have this pink jasper. We have this pink jasper moon face crystal. I love this baby so much. Doesn't it look so peaceful? It's like eyes closed. Got this little smirk on its face, like parched. I don't know why I'm hearing parched. Some of y'all might have to drink some water in this pile, or you're drinking more water than you typically do. And then last but not least, we have this beautiful, my fave, lapis lazuli. Is this your vibe? Is this your vibe? So go on, pick a crystal, and we're going to pray for a second, and then we're going to tap in. So we are calling on our angels, honorable ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, light beings, and light entities that serve the highest light and the greatest good, to come forth and to support me in being a vessel and being a conduit in delivering messages that come from a place of only light, love, and truth. We ask you, Spirit, what do we need to know with the energy surrounding the collective for this airy new moon? What new beginnings are being initiated in our life? What changes are happening? How can we embrace that change? And also what rituals? I want to definitely do. Please don't let me, I'm saying don't let me forget, but I hope I don't forget, because I do want to pull a few ritual cards too, to see how we can work our magic, because I feel like this is the perfect time to do it. It's the new year. This is where the real new beginnings begin. So now that our energy is open, take a few deep breaths with me. Now let's begin. We are going to start with pile number 1. Pile number 2 and 3. We'll catch y'all later. Hey, pile number 1. I just want to see if you are gravitating towards this smoky citrine. I feel like you guys are really wanting to boss up this Aries season, make some big business moves, make some changes within your career, maybe even crystallize some new partnerships, I feel like. But there's an energy of making sure that you're grounding your energies and also grounding your intentions, making sure that when you do set your intention and you are taking initiative on your creative pursuits, you're making sure that you're being guided and directed, and you have a plan. You're not just like throwing your energy out there and waiting for the universe to respond. There has to be as you put yourself up in the air, I'm hearing like as you suspend yourself, you also have to make sure that you are also grounded. So I'm literally envisioning you I'm envisioning someone doing a handstand. I know that's so random, but I'm envisioning someone doing a handstand, and as they're doing a handstand, someone is holding their feet. So it's like technically they're not relying on all of their power because there's someone that is there supporting them and holding them. So maybe that's what you're trying to manifest this Aries season, something or someone, an opportunity that can kind of like support those dreams and intentions that maybe other people wouldn't understand, or people would doubt your own capability to it. But not everyone has to get it. I just feel like you're looking to secure or connect with that one person, that one business, that one opportunity that's going to get the vision. So if that's you, y'all let me know below how these messages are resonating, how they hit in, and let's see what cards you got. So let's start here. So first off, we got grounding, this potato. We have nature spirits. We have underworld. We have, I don't know why I feel called to do it this way. We have power, strength, optimism, independence, and idealism. All right, let me just move these over a little bit more. So see, I knew it. I felt that grounding energy. You have that with this smoky citrine, but you also have it with grounding, the potato. You have the nature spirits. You have the strength card, which literally, look at these roots. Look at these roots. Okay, there's so many messages that are coming in, so let's get right into it. Clearly, it's so important to make sure that you guys have a grounding ritual, a grounding practice, just to call your energy back and to make sure that as you travel below, literally, you're going deep, you're going within. As you travel within, as you start to learn more about yourself and connect to your innate passions, your innate desires, there's going to be things that maybe you question. Is this what I really want? Is this something that I can see myself doing? Is this still the path that I want to take? And it's important to just make sure that you're grounded so that you're not acting or responding from an impulsive place, because Aries season tends to do that. It's the first sign of the zodiac. They're the initiators. They're the pioneers. They're the first ones to take those steps. So your guides really want to make sure that you're keeping your energy grounded. That's why you were gravitating to this smoky citrine. You need that smoky energy. So some of you guys would probably be interested or being called to connect with smoky citrine, or even a smoky quartz, which I have literally right in front of me. So these could be two crystals that you're working with. And it's actually interesting because I keep the smoky quartz on deck when I am in my meditation practice, because it grounds me. It allows me to be present and allow the thoughts that are really disruptive and distracting to just pass. So I'm not entertaining it the whole time, because that's just so frustrating, because the purpose of meditating is to kind of be at peace and to just be tapped in where you're not focusing on the external energies around you. So I just find that the smoky quartz does the job. So if you're trying to go within and tune into yourself, I suggest working with some smoky quartz, or you probably are already, and this is just your confirmation, babe. And I love that. Grounding also looks like for you guys it's gonna be looking like spending more time outside. And even if you are someone who usually does that, maybe you're switching the time of day you go outside. So maybe you're a morning walk person. Maybe that energy is going to be shifting. You're going to be taking strolls at night or doing like some moon gazing. But there's definitely this connection to being outside. You might want to go outside barefoot, ground your energy, connect and sit by a tree, maybe pull some cards under a tree, because I do see part of this grounding practice is connecting with your tools, whatever spiritual tools that you use to ground you. So maybe your grounding practice looks like pulling a card for yourself every day. Because we're connecting with the underworld, some of you guys are probably going to be doing some more shadow work this Aries season too. But clearly it's showing that whatever shadow work that you're doing, going below and kind of like, you see how this energy feels a little tangled? Once you are able to free your hand, you can hold your staff, you can hold your power, you can claim what's yours or reclaim what's yours. And Spirit is saying outside with just nature in general and the land, that is when you're really going to be tapped in and feeling most powerful. That's where you'll be able to draw your strength from. Now, I know y'all ain't missed this. We have 11:11 here. So some of you guys will probably be seeing 11:11. Maybe this Aries season is really going to help you jumpstart a project or something that is going to come into culmination around the time of 11/11, November 11th. So maybe you're doing some planning for the future. Energy of 1111 just speaks of alignment and speaks of creation, like you're being in alignment with the things that you are creating. And your ancestors and spirit guides want to remind you that just because these little shadow aspects come up, or these things that kind of test your patience or test your ego, because I feel like even with this power too, like you wanting to have control over things, but you're still learning, you're still figuring things out, you're still kind of getting yourself untangled, you know? So with that, there's your guides want to make sure that you are, of course, maintaining a positive approach. You have this moon in Sag hitting your 9th house. So some of you guys around the time of the new moon, this might either be hitting your 9th house or your 11th house in astrology. So in 9th house, this is how you are going to expand yourself. Does this look like going back to school? Is there a place that you need to go? Are you expanding yourself by connecting with nature? Are you expanding yourself by doing more reading? Idealism. I don't know, for some reason I just feel like idealism, optimism, like there's a lot of isms. So maybe you're someone who's more so also interested in embracing a new way of living with those isms. That 9th house, like I said, is like what you're studying, where you're traveling, you know, also your connection to spirit, your connection to the divine, right? So maybe you were going below to connect to your honorable and to connect with your ancestors, or to connect with your shadow. And then you have the 11th house, which is really focused on your relationships and your connections with people and how you show up in your community and just how you show up in groups. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are really tapped into your divine masculine energy. I feel like you guys are very tapped into your divine masculine energy. Most of you guys watching this might even be earth signs or fire signs with earth moons, We have moon in Sag. You might have a moon in Sag. This is moon in Aquarius. So you're trying to be an independent thinker. You're trying to, well, not even thinker, you're trying to be an independent feeler, right? And not allowing other people's emotions, other people's projections to really interfere with what you got going on. So that's part of the grounding too, to make sure that your energy, you're sustaining your energy through a grounding practice, so that you're not allowing your empathy, your beautiful heart that is so open and cares about what other people think and cares about how other people responding and showing up in the world, not allowing that to really block you from what you're supposed to be doing or where you're supposed to be going or what you're supposed to be creating. If that makes sense, let me know, y'all. Part of you guys' magic is also going to be creating, I feel like bebes, but sigils. Some of you guys are going to be called to create your own sigil. Maybe you want to create a grounding sigil. So that would look like, maybe if there's a phrase that you, please Google or YouTube, like how to do your own sigil, because that's not what this video is about, but like just basically writing something down, writing a phrase or writing a word, and then kind of consolidating to a point where you get your own symbol. And this is something that you can keep with you. You can keep multiple copies, keep it on your altar space, keep it in your car, keep it in your grounding space, just to make sure that your energy stays grounded. And that's your own magic. That's you working your own magic. And then we also have this sun in Aquarius too. So we got the moon and sun in Aquarius energy here. Let's get into it. I'm gonna pull my cards out. These were just the oracle cards. And let's see, Spirit, what can pile number one expect? What new beginnings are ushering into pile number one's life? What new beginnings can pile number one expect with this new moon in Aries energy, Spirit? 511 also might be a number that you guys are seeing. 511. I feel like 411 is like when I don't know. I feel like 411 is like a call for help. And 511 is like, look at this. Like, did you see this? So I almost feel like this connection, this 511 energy is like you excitingly wanting to share your creations with people, or excitingly wanting to share your ideas with people. With this Aquarius energy, you guys are really going to be focusing on, you know, your role in this lifetime as an active participant of the collective consciousness. You're not operating from a place of like individualism. You're acting from a place of like being a community and seeing how we're all of our experiences, all of our purposes are intersected, and we all have a role. So I feel like through new relationships, through new connections, you might be finding what your role is. And because of this, I feel like there's some ego things that have happened in the past. Maybe people felt like you were egotistical. Maybe in a way you were not receptive to allowing other people to support and help you. So now you're stepping into this space of like, yeah, I do need help, or I don't have all of the answers. That could be part of your shadow. So this energy of the new moon and Aries is kind of expanding yourself in a way that makes you open to connecting with others. Because you do have a very independent spirit here. You guys might also be called to like eat some more root vegetables, some potatoes, sweet potatoes, maybe make a hearty soup for grounding, because getting your kitchen magic, your kitchen witch bag. Okay, Spirit. What's this pile one need to know? Ooh. Okay, y'all. See, we have the Five of Swords. So I do feel, here's the conflict, y'all. It's like you're coming from this place of maybe being super defensive, or allowing other people's thoughts and opinions to kind of interfere with what you got going on. But you're recognizing that, like, you stay in your power when you're grounded. You're staying in your power when you don't allow those things to interfere with what you got going on. You stay in your power when you're embodying this King of Cups energy, when you are totally sure of yourself and you have a hold and you're able to control your emotions. That doesn't mean that you are emotionally immature. It actually means the opposite. It means that I have so much control. My power comes from being able to control how I respond to things. Looking at these birds' messages, how I respond to information, how I respond to criticism, how I respond to people in general. And there's what's very funny too is like you have in your reading, you have this 1111, and then you have this King of Cups that kind of shows like these two parallels here. So there could also be some mirroring that is happening as well too. So this is a reminder to stay grounded and stay aligned with the energy that you're trying to tap into, so that the universe can reflect that energy back to you. When you are embodying, the universe will reflect that energy back to you. I really like that message. I really, really do. Honestly, I just feel like some of you guys are figuring out, and especially because you guys have like some boss moves and shit that you want to really level up in the new year. You have to figure out how you're really going to work with people when it comes to those shadow aspects. Because I feel like you do good with people. You're very kind. Like, people probably say that you're generally a happy person. Generally, you're very inspiring. You're naturally very creative. So there's a lot of beautiful qualities about you. It's just that you're in your shadow self. Like, I'm an artist, but I'm sensitive about my shit, you know? Like, I'm creating, but also like, ooh, am I very receptive to how people critique or how people impede their opinions in what it is that I'm doing. And this King of Cups is kind of showing you to just be a bit more mature in your response. I'm looking at this peacock, like, you don't need to flex. You don't need to respond from your ego. There's no need for it. So stay grounded. Stay connected to yourself. What other messages, Spirit, do you have for pile number 1 during this new moon in Aries, or at the time of them watching this video? Okay, I just heard hypothermia. Does that mean, like, what is that? Is that when like someone is very cold? Like is that just is that just an intellectual word for fucking freezing? What is hypothermia? Let me look it up. Blood temperature, exposure to cold. That is very interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, this makes sense. Some of you guys were probably dealing with seasonal depression, and that could also be with this Five of Swords energy is feeling kind of caved in by your thoughts, feeling kind of caved in by your shadow. But Spirit is just affirming that, like, now the weather is going to start getting warmer. The sun is going to start shining. We're going to get more vitamin D. You're literally gravitating towards this crystal that has a yellowish hue with all of these yellow kind of accents. So there's also some sacral chakra energy too that you're calling in, or sacral chakra healing that you're calling in. So if you're someone that has been dealing with seasonal depression, or you just feel like when you're in a colder environment, you're either harsher, or just pay attention to how you are when you're in a colder environment versus when you're in a warmer environment, because there's this energy of being connected to nature and being outside. So I feel like some of you guys are going to be called to maybe garden, or to just generally spend more time outside as you work, as you get your shit done. All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have for pile number 1? Ooh, justice. Okay, we got some sort of contract coming here. This is also Libra energy. You might be watching this. You might be a Libra sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Back to these parallels, yo. Whatever this contract is, it is mirroring you. This is a divine reflection that's coming in this new moon in Aries, y'all. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, do you see how we have this parallels vertically and horizontally? Vertically and horizontally. Ooh, okay. So what the energy that we're going to be under, or the energy that you guys are going to be under, is like your spirit is going to be mirroring the shadow, but spirit is also going to be mirroring the light as well. So there's going to be a lot of experiences in which like the people and situations are reflecting like the best parts of you, and you're like, yo, this is everything that I set out to be. But then on the other hand, like whatever your shadow self was subconsciously calling in and inviting in, there may be some interference with that too. So, and all you have to do is just ground yourself. All you have to do is ground yourself, reminding yourself to constantly come back home, to not allow that shit to like deviate you from the plan. So I want to see, what is this justice energy, Spirit? Okay. Spirit, can you clarify on this justice energy for pile number 1? Also, this could be 2. This could be 2 situations or 2 experiences, right? 2 things that you're creating, 2 passions that you're cultivating, 2 people that you're connecting with, 2 places that you need to go. Maybe some of you guys are going to decide that you want to be bi-coastal because like you need somewhere else to escape to when it gets cold. Maybe you even had some sort of battle with hypothermia, or just being really in a very cold environment. And if that is not a literal cold, this could just mean the people that you keep around you, their energy being cold, and wanting to kind of be around people that are more sweet and optimistic. So this 5 of Swords energy could be like you used to be surrounding yourself with people who were kind of negative Nancy's, right? Like people who just, you be trying to tell them some shit and they just always got something to say to combat it. And it's just like, it just gives hater vibes after a while. But Spirit is saying for a lot of these people, this is just, it's all they know. It's just, the Spirit is saying it's a survival like tactic, to not get their hopes up about shit because they're just so used to adversity. And when we're connected with those type of people, it's just best to extend empathy to them. Extend empathy that they don't have the vision. All right, Spirit. So let's clarify on this justice card, Spirit. What is this justice energy telling pile number 1 over this new moon in Aries, Spirit? The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, if this is a contract regarding someone, this person could be an earth sign. I heard Taurus. That was the first sign that I heard. It's like, I don't actually hear any other signs. I just hear Taurus. This could also be something that happens around Taurus season, which is literally a month from now, right after Aries season. But whatever this contract, whatever this commitment is that is coming through, feels like it's something that you've been working on for a really long time. And Spirit also wants to remind you too, when you do make commitments, it's important to like be consistent, right? It's important to be consistent. It's important to keep the greater vision at mind and not slack off. It's like you come through with all of this energy. Make sure that you keep that energy through the duration of the project, through the duration of the relationship or situation. You don't want to start strong and then kind of fall off. Even if that means like you're not, even if it means that you're not like super enthusiastic. I don't know why I feel like not, this has to do with your attitude. Like kind of keeping a calm demeanor is kind of what I'm sensing. It's a humbling energy. It's like, yes, this is exciting, but you know, we still got a lot more work to do. And that's part of the ego work that's happening. That's part of your ego that is kind of like being melted away. Because you recognize that there's always work to do. And it doesn't mean that we don't celebrate those moments, but it's just like, in those moments, we appreciate it. We thank our spirits. We're grateful. But because it's shit that we've been working for so long, I feel like a lot of you guys are just gonna kind of be like on to the next. But spirit wants to make sure that like, remember where your commitment lies. Remember where your commitments lies. Because for some of y'all, this isn't just one commitment, one contract. These are two different things that you're balancing, or two different things that you are literally you're contract, like you have a signed contract you're legally binded to. Some of you guys are going to be getting a lawyer or doing some sort of legal work. Maybe you're going to be getting a lawyer on retainer, especially if you're going to be bossing up in your business. Because you do have business moves in mind. I know we haven't spoken about it, but you definitely got the business moves in mind. Holy Spirit. See, but the star, like, but right now, it's like you have business on your mind and you're like ready to make these moves, but Spirit is like, yes, but you got some shit to heal though. This is also Aquarius energy. It's like you're recovering from something. You're recovering from something. Let me just take a minute to observe. We are not in a rush. I hope you're not in a rush. This is our time together, and I love and I cherish this time. Okay, I feel like some of the work that you guys are doing, or some of the change that is happening regarding your healing, is recognizing that you can be supportive to others, not just using your creativity. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys are, your love languages are are kind of like guiding people to boss up, or guiding people to like be their best selves through their creative endeavors. So if you have someone if you have a friend who's like an artist, you're always coming up with these really dope ideas of how they can level up in their business and this and that. And it's like, that's cool, but Spirit wants to make sure that you're focusing on the emotional aspect of it. Just being a loving person in general, because sometimes that's all the people that you're surrounded are asking for. But then you kind of come in with this other energy because it's like, I have these ideas and I want to put them out and I want to share. And it's just like, but sometimes they're not meant to be shared with everyone. And sometimes people don't want to hear that shit. And that's just the real. Some people just want you to be present, right? So I feel like some of that is practicing restraint when it comes to your impulsiveness. When it comes to your your responses to people, and your responses to like wanting to fix their situations. I just get like fixer energy too. Spirit. One more message for pile number 1. Queen of Wands. See, this is your confidence. This is your swag. This is that energy that I've been talking about. This is you. This is a beautiful energy to be in, but I feel like this is inherently you. Spirit is channeling something like a man that something holds no bounds. Something holds no bounds. It's like that's your energy. It's like no ceilings. I ain't never seen a ceiling in my whole life. And I love that energy because it's just like anything that I want is attainable, and that's a beautiful energy to be in. But Spirit wants to say just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Make sure that you are directing your energy in a way that is intentional and supportive to your future. And Queen of Wands really speaks about you working your magic, maybe getting into doing some candle work too. So let's see. I love this deck. I don't use it a lot for y'all, but I always use it for me. Shout out to Lauren if you're watching this. Hey, girl. This is the Words as Wands spell deck. I love, love, love this deck because it's an elemental deck. So let's see, Spirit. What type of rituals would benefit pile number 1 during this new moon in Aries? What type of rituals would benefit pile number 1 during this new moon in Aries? I'm hearing something spiritual. Spiritual. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I'm just looking at the cards again. I feel like there's a message, something that I missed. Spirit is making me kind of like go over them again. There's a softness that Spirit wants you to embrace. Your power doesn't have to be so in your face. Your power can just be in softness as well. Your power comes from not just shooting your shot when it comes to your ideas and your project, but it comes from using those gifts to support and help others, pour into others, taking the time to support others too, direct others, guide others. I feel like you guys are really gonna maybe step into a more a leadership role or a mentorship role. I feel like this little companion here. There's people that are watching you. Maybe you have nieces and nephews, and like it's like you're the cool auntie, the cool uncle, the cool auntie uncle. And everything in between for my non-binary people. All right, Spirit. What energies? What rituals would support pile number 1 during this new moon in Aries? Okay, there's 2 things here. 2 rituals here. 5. This is, let's see, 5 and 4. 5 says, when I feel down, I turn around remembering the remaining cups on the ground. So this is some releasing work. Release. If you're familiar with the tarot, you will notice that this card is based on the illustration of the Rider-Waite cups suit. It is so easy for this human mind to fixate on lack. This card depicts a sullen man mourning over the several cups fallen on the ground. If only he had turned around, he would realize, yes, we didn't get that 5 of Cups energy, but I feel that. This spell will help you heal lack mentality and learn to shift your perspective to gratitude. So some of you guys need to be doing a gratitude practice, and maybe that's the thing that is going to ground you. Okay, second spell. 4, inner turmoil. It's 4. Banish with ease, taking time to build with integrity. Release. So this is working with fire. Allow these words to inspire you to create a list when you are feeling overwhelmed. Write the spell at the top of a piece of paper or post-it note. Then list 5 things, the number of change, you can accomplish swiftly to bring you peace of mind and help you feel a sense of accomplishment. Ashe. And I'm going to do... Ooh, I feel like I have to do ancestor messages. Like, and are you really watching the Amber the Alchemist video if I'm not pulling messages from the ancestors? All right, see, let's get into it. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to get into it, but I feel like we need to get into it. All right. Because we got 2 more. I kind of went in. All right, Spirit. Oh, okay. I'm already getting... One, wildlife. Back to that 5 energy. Change. I feel like there's going to be a lot of different personalities and a lot of people that you connect with. Clearly, with this Queen of Wands energy, you're going to be socializing. You're going to be going to different networking events, shining your light, right? You do have sunflower. Maybe you need to bring some sunflowers into your space. Maybe you need to wear some more yellow. Work on your sacral chakra, work on your confidence, to make sure that it's grounded, because maybe your sacral chakra might be a little bit out of balance, right? Have you been overconfident and then it's being perceived as arrogance, and that shifts how people see you, right? So Spirit is saying there's going to be a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities and things you're going to be. It's like they're throwing you in there with the wolves. But you can hold your own. You could throw hands. I feel it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't throw hands unless you have to. All right. What other messages does pile number 1's ancestors have for them? Just a few messages over this new moon in Aries. Square. I don't know why they're saying that, but square. If you guys have businesses, maybe you need to be downloading the Square app or creating or using your business operations with Square. It's oddly specific. I don't work with Square, but that's very interesting. And now what's on top of this? Okay, that's so funny. So your ancestors are speaking of, like, I feel like you get really overwhelmed when there's a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, like with this wildlife energy. It's like, what do I see? It's like you see rhino, you see these birds, you see alligators, you see, like, it's a few different types of personalities, but it's like your ancestors say that you have this way to help all of these, like, different aspects or personalities. You have a way to kind of bring them together or fall in line. So it almost gives me collective energy. Maybe you're going to be building some sort of collective. Maybe you're going to be building some sort of community. Ooh, y'all need to let me know, like, what y'all got going on. I love this. I love this. That is all I have for you, pile number 1. I hope you receive these messages with love. Happy new moon in Aries. If these messages resonate, you can go to my description box and just send me some love through Cash App, Venmo, book a one-on-one session with me, whatever you feel called to do, or just receive and keep it moving. I'm cool with that too. So let me know how these messages resonate. I love you, and we're gonna go to pile number 2. Hey boo, if you are watching this, then that means you picked pile number 2, or not, or you just cross watching, maybe you being nosy. But either way, if you did pick pile number 2, then that means you gravitated towards this pink jasper moon face. And instantly, as soon as I picked this, I felt like pile number 2, y'all been through some shit. Y'all really have been through some shit, and I feel like right now you're just seeking and hoping for a new beginning that just starts on a lighter foot. I just feel like you've kind of been in heavy energy, and if this hasn't been your energy, maybe just the people around you have just been going through a lot of shit, and I feel like you're trying to replace the sadness, replace the grief, replace the heaviness with just lighter energy. Let me know if that resonates with you guys. I just feel like you're trying to kind of find your joy. Find your joy so that the good outweighs the heavy. Because I feel like there definitely has been some heavy with y'all. But let's see. That's just me kind of channeling, feeling the vibe. So let's see what actually comes up for y'all. We're also, so how we're going to do this is I already pulled your oracle cards. I have not seen them yet. I'm going to kind of read with the oracle messages. I'm going to pull a few more tarot cards after I do that. And then I'm going to pull a few cards for rituals and ancestor cards too, of course. So let's get into it. Let's start at the bottom. Stimulation, healer, gratitude, higher perspective, get curious, order, flirtation. Very interesting. Very interesting here. Okay, pile. Ooh, and just as I say that, I don't know if y'all can tell, but did you just see how the sun just like came up? The sun literally just popped out for y'all. I'm just sitting with this. I'm just sitting with this right now because there's a few messages that I'm getting, but I want to see how I'm going to start this, how Spirit wants me to start this. First of all, a lot of y'all have been seeing birds. You have a connection to bird spirits. You might be wanting to go down south as well. Whatever south is for you, wanting to migrate, wanting to go to a different environment as well. Maybe you've been feeling overstimulated or understimulated. But either way here, this new moon in Aries energy is definitely going to be a time for you to sit with yourself, to kind of tap in with your own healer. If you have a spiritual practitioner that you go to, maybe it's time for you to book that year ahead reading or get that Reiki, do that session, whatever it is. There's this connection to a healer. Maybe you are deciding to be a healer, or maybe you're recognizing that you are your own healer, right? You used your tools. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. So back to what I was saying about this pink jasper energy, how I just felt like you were building on top of, like trying to add lightness to the darkness. And basically this was your growth. I feel like this was an experience that already happened. There was a situation that felt really, really heavy or felt hectic. And it's almost like when situations like that happen, you probably shut down. Maybe you isolate yourself. Maybe you get depressed, or maybe you go to someone else outside of you to kind of consult and support you in that moment. But it feels like in the last circumstance where that happened, you were able to like handle that situation on your own because you've been given the tools over the last couple of months. I'm hearing 5 to 9 months specifically. Over the last couple of months, you've kind of learned new tools to support yourself when you are in those moments. So some of those tools look like meditation, literally. Some of those other tools look like building a gratitude practice. I don't know how I said it in that accent, or how I said it in that accent. Maybe someone from like another country. Well, clearly lots of y'all are from other countries. I don't know, just whatever. Ignore that. But it feels like maybe that other practice would have been a gratitude practice. Like, yes, all of this shit is going on. There's a lot of heavy energy, but there's so much more for me to be grateful for. And it's almost like you being able to shift your perspective and kind of like shift your consciousness in a way that like kind of pushes you into gratitude, instead of like this feeling of lack, this feeling of being withheld your abundance. I feel like there's certain things that you guys are waiting to, you have been actively pursuing something, and you're waiting for it to unfold, and it feels like it's being withheld from you. It feels like spirit or your ancestors are blocking it, but it's just like you recognize that when you remain in gratitude, one, you don't feel as bad. That's another thing. And two, it kind of challenges you to just get outside of your head and redirect and refocus your energy, to get curious, right? To get curious. So during this new moon in Aries, a lot of you guys will be pursuing your curiosities, whatever that may mean to you. I see higher perspective on some real shit. Some of you guys are going to be experimenting with different, like maybe you'll be consulting mushrooms, plant spirits, ayahuasca, nature's medicine, right? Like healing, see? And we all look at all of this. Look at all of these herbs. Some of you guys are going to be working with tree, like literally working with weed in a new way, in a ritual way. I feel like you are going to be ritualizing the herbs and the plants and the things that you work with, and just bringing more intention into your everyday life. Because with this chilly energy here of stimulation, you be wanting to move, you be wanting to go, right? Like you got shit to do. You have the moon and Virgo, so maybe some of you guys have Virgo placements, or when it comes to your emotions and your responses, it's the energy is very fixed, like you only believe what you see. You might even be someone who was once an atheist or once practiced a completely different religious or spiritual tradition, but because you kind of got out of that fixed mentality and kind of channeled this Sagittarian energy with this is this Mars or Venus? Ooh, I don't know. It's Venus and Sagittarius. This is the curiosity. This is you wanting to pursue things that interest you without getting in your head, without having to make sense of things. It's like seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing things through a lens that kind of takes away your ego, rids you of the traditions and just ways of being that have been implanted in you just due to conditioning as a society, conditioning with your family. So it feels like a lot of you guys in pile number 2 are really straying away from what you know or what you think you know. Ooh. Straying away from what you know or what you think you know. With this moon and Virgo energy, I feel like y'all are also probably want to be doing more writing. Maybe you're going to be doing some automated writing. I feel like I'm never that good at it, but you guys would be. It'll be Spirit is saying like it'll be a practice for you, a ritual for you to kind of get outside of your head and just write down your thoughts and what you're channeling, and you might find yourself to be very, very good at it, right? Like flirting with these new ideas. Sagittarius energy wants you to expand. Now, this is coming through with the 6th house. So this is which is ruled by Virgo. So that's our routines, that's our health, that's our wellness. So you, pile number 2, are really going to be focused on healing yourself, not just on a spiritual level, but on a physical level, an emotional level as well, because there's this connection to health. Because this energy is ruled by Virgo, so you guys might even have had stomach sensitivities or nervous system sensitivities, and you're figuring out different ways to kind of calm down your spirit. Maybe you're taking new herbs. I'm hearing tarragon. I don't know if that has anything to do. Does tarragon help with stomach? Let me Google that. Tarragon helps you aid in your personal growth. It's also used for blessing and consecrating certain tools, protection. So maybe you guys need to be using tarragon or working with tarragon in some sort of way. So some of you guys, this new moon might be hitting your 6th house, like I said. And then some of you, it also might be hitting your 9th house. It might not be hitting any of these houses. It could just be the energy that these houses are under. So like I said, 6th house being your routines and rituals and just how you care for yourself, how you care for your body, and things like that. And the ninth house being, again, study, travel, your connection to source, your connection to spirit, expanding. How are you exploring your horizons? What ideas are you flirting with? There's this energy of just curiosity. Some of you guys just need to be a little bit more impulsive instead of overthinking things. Just allow yourself to go with the flow. Allow yourself to go and see where it leads you, instead of having everything planned out. All right, y'all, let's see what else. I'm going to pull some tarot cards and we can get some more messages in here. All right, Spirit. What other messages, guidance do you have for pile number 2 for this new moon in Aries? Okay, y'all, we have High Priestess in reverse. Clearly, there's been a disconnection from your intuition, feeling disconnected from your shadow. Feeling disconnected, I feel like a lot of you guys are exploring new things about yourself and what you like and what piques your interest, but because these are things that you've been told are not healthy or not acceptable, or this path wouldn't work for you, because you've been told these things, it's allowed you to completely turn off that switch and not allow yourself to kind of flirt with the possibilities and the ideas and just what's piquing your interest. And this High Priestess is all about your connection to self. She is the wise one. This is your intuition. This is your subconscious being able to communicate with you, your higher self being able to communicate with you. When you are not listening to yourself, when you're not listening to your instincts, it's like you're being driven based on what you think is right for you. And it's very important that you must not forget that essentially this is spirit. Spirit is the one who has the divine plan set out for you. So just because you have an idea of what your life is going to look like, what it should look like, you can still pursue those things, but make sure that you're leaving room. Your guides want you to leave room for their divine guidance and communication as well, because that energy has been kind of turned off. So you're feeling, this is a time for you to really reconnect with your spirituality, reconnect with yourself, reconnect with your intuition, and pay attention to how spirit is speaking to you, because spirit is going to be speaking to you in new ways, maybe new sensations as well. All right. So you have the High Priestess in reverse. All right, spirit. What other messages do we have? What new beginnings is pile number 2 coming into during this new moon in Aries? I'm hearing the name Sasha. I don't know if your name is Sasha or someone else's name is Sasha. Okay, y'all. Judgment. We have to get out of our heads. Do you see this brain? This is you. It's all sparkly because, yes, you're a smart bitch. Yes, you got the ideas. Yes, you have the education. Yes, you have the wisdom. You have all of these things. But this judgment it's a call from the divine. This has nothing to do with what you think or what you feel is right. This is a call from spirit. This is spirit waking you up, activating your purpose, activating your gifts. So if you've been shutting out your spirituality, if you've been shutting out being clairaudient, if you've been shutting out, if you've been shutting out your gifts, that energy is about to change. It's like you've been dimming that light. Literally, as I speak on this, the candle that I have right here is kind of, let me see if I can show y'all. You see how dim that little candle is? Yeah, that's you, babe. Okay, spirit, clarify on this judgment. And Spirit, before I even like flip over this card, Spirit is saying like there's so many different things that you know about or have learned about that are piquing your interest, and you're trying to find a way, or of course in order to make things work, make sense. You're trying to put these things in a sequence, and it's like the sequence that you have in mind is not the sequence that Spirit has for you, baby. I hate to break it to you, but this is just what it is. This is life. Spirit loves you. I love you. And part of living in this earth is recognizing that we aren't the ones that are in control. So there's going to be some things that you are not going to be making sense of. You have to get outside of your head in order to really feel Spirit and connect with Spirit. And that's why the High Priestess is who she is, because she doesn't need to go to anyone or anything or get proof. She just feels it. She senses it. She knows. So there's this inner knowing that Spirit wants you to embrace over this new moon in Aries, because it'll help you pursue things with confidence. And sometimes you don't need to like weigh the facts and things to make those decisions. Sometimes you just need to go off impulse, go off feeling, go off Spirit. And then we have the King of Wands here. Ooh, some of you guys are going to be experiencing literally a kundalini awakening. You are integrating your divine masculine and divine feminine energies. With that said, you have the brain and you have the serpent going into the head. With healer, you guys are going to be experiencing a lot of crown chakra activations. High Priestess in reverse, this could be manifesting also as headaches. If that is the case, take a nice cleansing bath, do a head wash. Maybe you need to, that could look like doing like a coconut milk head wash or bath, keeping your Florida water on deck and just making sure that you're cleansing your energy, putting some cascarilla or some efun, some crushed eggshell powder on your crown, on your third eye chakra, making sure that your third eye is protected, because there's some things that are going on with your head, things that are going on with your brain. Your guides are going to be they're going to be stimulating your mind. So like when Spirit is talking to you and Spirit is like giving you a download, you're going to feel the tingling sensation in your crown chakra, and that's how you're going to know that Spirit is communicating to you. That is going to be the only confirmation you need. So Spirit is saying like, we're going to be channeling information to you and communicating with you. Your higher self is going to be tapped the fuck in. Your intuition is going to be on 1,000. And what's going to allow you to trust that and receive it is how you feel, how it feels in your body, what is being stimulated in those times of those downloads. So literally yesterday I was watching a video on YouTube, and I was watching Jess of Bahati Life, my girl. I feel like that's everyone's girl. Just love her. She's just so cute, so sweet. And I don't know, I love a light worker. I love someone who keeps it a stack but just also stays in the light, because that's just my vibe. But I was watching a video and she was saying something and I was like, ooh, Spirit already told me like this is something I need to hear. Literally, I went to start making coffee, like opened up. I was about to multitask and my ear literally started to like, I felt pressure in my ear, and that was Spirit saying like, no, bitch, we're not doing a latte right now. We're honing in, we're listening to this message. So I feel like y'all, I'm talking really slow. I mean, I'm talking really fast. So, and even with the stimulation, like there's just going to be a lot of information that's coming through for y'all, a lot of information. So make sure that you're staying in gratitude and thanking Spirit for the messages, for the downloads in advance, allowing you to see things that maybe, or perceive things that you wouldn't typically see because you're just tapped in. Ashe. Okay. What are the new beginnings? Also with this King of Wands too, this is a new vision that you have for yourself. A new vision that you have for yourself. Something that maybe you haven't done before. This is also fire sign energy. Sag, Leo, Aries. Let's see what other messages you have for pile number 2. Okay, y'all. Nine of Cups, Knight of Wands, 8 of Wands. Okay. Spirit says the quicker that you respond to the messages, the quicker that you respond to the signs, as soon as you do that, like respond, act impulse. This is funny because like I feel like pile number one, it was like, do not be impulsive, make sure you're grounded. For pile number two, like spirit is kind of putting a battery on your back to be a little bit more free spirited, to be, I'm hearing indulgent, like to involve yourself and surround yourself with experience and things, people, places that you just are not used to, getting you out, getting you outside of your comfort zone. Eight of Wands, maybe some of you guys are going to like be booking a flight just on a whim, right? Like, hey, I just saw this deal on blah blah blah, cheap flights. Yes, bitch, we out. My mom just literally did that shit last week, and now she's on a flight to Jamaica, you know? So I love that for you. I love that for you. This Nine of Cups is showing me that you're still going to get everything that you want and everything that you're intended, but it has to come from a place of passion and desire versus like a very structured way of moving. So I feel like some of you guys are probably even turning away from the corporate ladder, or just like doing things in a societally right way. I probably worded that horribly, but you know, it's like when people are telling you what you should do, what's the right way to do. Okay, you go to school and then you go to college and then you meet someone and then you have kids, and it's just like the simple mundane, like you don't have to adhere to that way of being anymore, because you have a divine connection to yourself and a connection to source, and there's nothing that anyone can tell you that should hold stain over what spirit and your higher self is telling you. And that's just the real. That's just the real. A lot of you guys are going to be stepping into abundance with this Nine of Cups energy. And I love that. New opportunities surfacing, and you have to make sure that you're, again, not choosing from like getting your mind out of it and really making more intuitive decisions. So some of you guys are probably going to even book a business forecast with me, because you kind of want to adopt that approach. All right, so let's see what rituals would benefit pile number two over this new moon. Okay. Ashe, working with spirit. See, you are working with spirit. One, working with spirit, literally. I'm calling my energy back to me, borrowed and stolen and given of me, and I'm calling my energy back. I'm calling my energy back to me, borrowed and stolen and given of me. I'm calling my energy back. This ritual is best said out loud or whispered to the wind 9 times. Allow it to carry your voice far and wide so that every part of you is drawn back. Spoken upon walking and before bed will allow this soul recalling ritual to solidify as routine, with the intention of remembering who you really are. Who you really are is a divine being. And I feel like you, pile number two, have been caught up in like a rat race, or caught up on following a template outside of your own. And I feel like this Aries season is going to be really liberating for you, because you're not going to be doing things the quote unquote right way. You're going to be doing things how you feel. This Nine of Wands energy, this chilly here, flirtation, get curious. It's Eight of Wands. It's very impulsive. Aries season is actually the most impulsive season, and it feels like this energy is actually going to do you some justice, because it's going to allow you to be divinely guided. It's going to allow you to connect with your spirit guides. It's going to allow you to check in with your gut, check in with how you feel. Some of you guys have like I don't know, maybe you have like a sacral authority in human design. Like you make decisions based on like your gut and how you feel, your sacral chakra. And you probably haven't been activated, that hasn't been activated, but this new moon in Aries is kind of like that call from spirit to wake up and to stop neglecting the tools that you have been born with. It was given to you for a reason. And you don't have to pick a modality. You don't have to pick a specific thing. Just be curious. Just explore. Just be open-minded. Sagittarius is just kind of, that energy is just always willing to expand their consciousness, willing to expand their spiritual wisdom and knowledge, that it doesn't really close itself off to anything. And I feel that because I'm a Sag. I love learning about different spiritual modalities. Yes, I am a hoodoo practitioner. Yes, I am an Orisha devotee. But there's lots of others. I'm always very interested in Kemeticism. I'm very interested in Buddhism. I'm very interested in other modalities, and I'm not going to allow anyone to tell me what's for me and what's not for me. And you shouldn't either. What final ritual spirit do you have for pile number 2? Ooh, not with this little cover card. Honestly, y'all, nothing is coming out because Spirit said that was all you need to know. Work with Spirit. Call your energy back. You see, this is a ritual and it's not even elaborate. Some of you guys might want to light a candle while you're doing it. I feel like you guys want to keep your eyes open. I feel like some of you guys have been meditating with your eyes closed or trying to connect with Spirit with your eyes closed. Try keeping your eyes open instead. And that helps for me because when I was trying to like meditate, when I was trying to visualize shit, I realized like it's easier for me to visualize something when my eyes are open, because when my eyes are closed, I just start going to the astrals and I start seeing colors and shapes, and Spirit be trying to talk to me, and it's like, okay, I cannot do this right now. So for you guys, call your energy back, work with Spirit, and let's see. Call on your honorable ancestors and just see a few messages from pile number 2's honorable ancestors. What messages, what guidance? Yeah, you guys are definitely, some of you guys are going to be impulsively taking a trip or going to the beach even. Maybe it's like you have one of those random ass, it's been cold in Jersey, but in Jersey and New York, this area, it's been kind of cold, but maybe you have one of those days where it's like 75 degrees and you're like, fuck it, let's go to the beach. Let's catch a vibe. Bring your cards. Let's see what's going on. I feel like you might have one of those days soon. And I love that for you. Because you go off your schedule. You go off your plans. It's very earth sign energy, very Virgo energy. But you got to embrace that Sag energy. See? So you might even be doing this with you might be doing this with an elder, like going with your grandma, going with your grandpa, going with your uncle, going with your older cousin or something like that. Or it's like you plan to go with them and they kind of ditched you and then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna still go. See? Great Rift Valley, like you're taking some sort of trip. You're doing some sort of exploring. You're doing some sort of what is the word that I want to use? You're going on a quest. There's some sort of journey that you're taking, and Spirit is telling me to clarify with this deck. So this will be the last message. All right, Spirit, can you clarify on these messages for pile number 2? Okay, we just fell on the High Priestess directly. Pleasure seekers, it's like your intuition is actually going to tell you what's going to bring you joy. You're getting yourself out of this phase where things just felt heavy, because Spirit is intuitively guiding you to experiences that are going to bring you joy. And I love that. I love that because I just feel like you guys just get so caught up in your head. Sometimes you miss out on the magic. And then sometimes you like over intellectualize things that are just spiritual, so things that just can't be explained. It's like you hear a creak and you're like, oh, that's because something something something. It's just like, no bitch, that was your ancestor walking. You know, like just shit like that. Just being open to knowing that spirits walk this world with us. We're never truly alone. And with that, it just means that we have more energies around us that we can work with to support us. So pile number 2, if these messages resonate with you, let me know below. Spill all your tea. I need to know. I'm so nosy. I love hearing how these messages resonate. I love you guys so much. If you want to return the energy exchange, you can hit my Cash App, my PayPal, my Venmo at Amber the Alchemist or Amber the Alchemist, and for PayPal, amberthealchemist.com, at gmail.com, sorry. And yeah, we're gonna get into pile number 3, the last pile. So catch y'all in a few. Pile number 3, welcome my loves. Welcome to your new moon and Aries reading. You picked this blue, beautiful blue lapis lazuli. This is a crystal that connects us to our throat chakra. It connects us to the spiritual realm and just overall communication. I always keep this on my desk when I'm reading because I just feel like it helps the messages flow. It allows the messages to kind of come in. I feel like I hear a little bit more clearly. So maybe that's maybe that's what time y'all are on. Maybe y'all are trying to hear spirit a little bit more clearly. Maybe you're trying to work on your communication skills. Maybe you're trying to get some writing in or leveling up in your spiritual practice and your meditations. If that's the case, get you a lapis lazuli. So let's see what oracle cards we have. We're gonna do your oracle cards first, and then I'm gonna pull a few messages, like read a few messages on the oracle cards, and then I'll pull some tarot cards. I'll do some rituals and a few ancestor messages. So we're starting off with agreement, divine masculine, the void, yes, felt that. Speak truth. See? Communication, throat chakra. Here we go. Let's get it. Caution. Ooh. And escape. This is very interesting, y'all. Watch your mans. You should watch your mouth. Yo, for real, some of you guys gotta watch your mouth. Some of y'all gotta watch how you speak to people. Just because keeping it real doesn't have to mean that you're being a mean girl or you're saying mean girl things. Cause yeah, that's just not okay. And this is coming from a very spicy Sag, and I recognize that. And I feel like that has probably been something that has come up before, like how you communicate, your delivery and things. Maybe you have a lot of fire energy, this divine masculine. Maybe you're a fire sign or your chart is ruled by fire energy. So you're very impulsive when it comes to how you communicate. You say how you feel when you feel it. You say it right away and don't really give yourself enough time to be like, okay, like how can I deliver this? How can I deliver this in a way that isn't offensive and that whatever I'm saying will actually be received? And that has a lot to do with your tone. That has a lot to do with the words that you use. Immediately, I'm thinking about, what is that show? Selling something. Damn, what was that show? That was on Bravo. I can't remember, but it was like it was basically Selling Sunset, but in Selling Tampa, but just like black and on own. What was that called? I forgot, but I liked it. But I was thinking about how these two women were friends. They were best friends, and one friend was like, hey, you're triggered. And in that moment, she wanted her to acknowledge, like, listen, your response is coming from a place of like hurt and pain, and trying to help her acknowledge it. But just using that word just set her the fuck off edge, and she just went the fuck off. So I feel like a lot of you guys are probably going to be really considering and reframing how you communicate with people. how you speak to people. I also feel like some of you guys might even be thinking about committing to learning a new language, right? Like literally learning a new language. I definitely feel that. So I definitely see with this agreement energy, you have something that is blossoming, this new moon in Aries, something that you've been actively pursuing. Something that you've been actively pursuing. It's like now you have that opportunity to come through, but it almost feels like with this escape and with this energy, it's like, ooh, I've been working so hard for it. I've been working so hard towards this. But now that I have it, does it align? Ooh, now that I have it, does it align? And this is hitting your 12th house. So I feel like these things might be even, I feel like y'all are going to be tested morally. You're going to be, the conversations that you're going to be having or the things that you're going to be debating, because there is going to be some debating here. The things that you're going to be debating is going to be based on like your own personal values and what you deem to be right, like morally correct. And because of that, I feel like your morality is kind of sitting in the door between experiences that like doors that you were waiting to open for a really long time. And it's like now you're posed with this challenge, like, ooh, I wanted this for so long, but I don't know if it suits me anymore. I don't know if it suits me anymore. I'm also seeing with this 12th house and Mars energy, your mind might be playing tricks on you. What is the message that is coming through? This Mars and Pisces energy just feels like take some time before you respond. So that means taking some time before you respond to like what other people are saying, but also take some time to just before you make assumptions, because with this energy, it just feels like there's some cloudiness, and that's why you have the sword here, wanting to speak truth, wanting to get to the facts, wanting to get down to the root of the information. With this void here, I feel like there's some things, I feel like you guys are actively experiencing this. And then what I'm seeing here with this Mercury in Virgo, and it's hitting the sixth house. I don't know why I can't say house. What is sixth house? See, you see how my words are just getting misconstrued? This is y'all energy. It's like you wanting to say something, or you say something and it comes off completely like, ooh, I did not mean to say it in that way. So this is why this lapis lazuli would come very handy for y'all, just to be mindful of how you're expressing, how you're communicating with others. Very, very important. Also making sure too that you're not critiquing other people's lifestyles, how they choose to live their life, what they eat, what they do. That is none of your business. And unless they've asked you for help, it's not your job to insert your opinion or insert what you think is guidance, because it could come off offensive. There's other ways to communicate, you know, hey, do you need support in this, and that? You know, there's ways to communicate it. I first want to see, what is this agreement? Spirit, can you clarify on this agreement for pile number 3? King of Swords. King of Swords. Literally communication. Literally communication. Some of you guys might be hiring PR people. Maybe you are in PR and you're having to deal with clients that are just like, ooh, you're going off of what we said that we were going to talk about. Hiring someone to communicate on your behalf, maybe getting an assistant or getting a publicist, getting a writer, literally someone who will communicate things on your behalf. A strategist here. So some of you guys might be hiring someone to actually be doing this for you, and see how that will open new doors. See how that will open new doors for you, because there's a lot of this energy feels blocked. Like when I try to communicate to people or when I try to reach out to people, I don't get the same response, but I get an assistant and they do it, and it's like now they're receptive, and it's probably just because of your delivery, or your energy is coming from a divine masculine place. So maybe you guys, pile number 3, some of you guys are a bit bossy, just to keep it a stack. Some of you guys are a bit bossy. All right. And then y'all gonna say this. Someone just said to themselves, I'm not bossy, I'm the boss. Bitch, you are bossy. But you are a boss bitch too. And both of those truths can exist. Okay? All right, Spirit, what other messages? What new beginnings are coming through for pile number 3? The Hierophant. Taking the higher road, higher wisdom, and back to working with someone that you admire, someone that you trust, saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't have the strategies. I don't always know how to navigate in these instances. Can you support me in doing that? Can you put me on? Can you teach me your way? Can you connect me with some people that can support me in this thing that I seem to go blank in this area? And it's okay to not be good at something too. I just want to remind you, it's okay to not be good at something. A lot of you guys are very good at manifesting. You guys are manifestors. You're good at bringing things to the table, sealing deals. But I also feel like some of you guys are good at manifesting, but you're not good at like the relationships you have with the people that you work with. And as part of the shadow work, it's important to think like where you need to hold yourself accountable, right? We don't have to do fault. It's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. But you know, how are you holding yourself accountable to these instances, especially if it becomes a thing that is repeated? You can't seem to figure it out. You keep having conversations about it. It keeps coming up in other people's conversations, but it's just like, I haven't figured out how to master that yet. And that's when you come in and maybe you call on your guides, you call on your higher self to sweeten your tongue, put down your sword so you don't have to be as sharp, and operate from a place of love and a Zen space. Like you see with this Hierophant, this person is literally in their Zen energy. Y'all need to be in your Zen energy, because there's conversations, things that are happening that are going to try to throw you off track. So it's important to stay balanced. It's important to have people around you who are mature and can kind of like be like the OG, like you the young homie, the OG, you go to your OG when you just going through some shit, you know? I feel like you need that. So maybe part of the spell work that you are being called to do is like to call on elders in your life that can kind of help you navigate through troubling situations or situations that you feel you could be better in, that feel kind of blocked. Okay, can you elaborate on this Hierophant? Because it's like you want to evolve, you want to grow, and it's like you know how to manifest. You know how to manifest situations that will help you grow on a material level, but now it's time to manifest people, situations, circumstances, opportunities that are going to help manifest wisdom, spiritual wisdom to you. All right, can you clarify on this Hierophant? All right. See, Hierophant with the High Priestess, calling in a spiritual guide, a spiritual companion, someone who can read you, right? You know how to read, but you need someone who can read you. Maybe I'm that person, because I feel like I feel like out of all of the decks, or out of all of the piles, this one I'm feeling like a little bit more like sharper, needing to tell y'all like what the fuck it is, needing to keep it a stack, which I mean, I'm gonna always keep it a stack, but I just feel like I need to kind of be on your ass a little bit, and I feel like you need that energy. I even feel like you have conversations of like with your parents about how you were as a child, and they were like, yo, they ran the house. Like, you were out here telling the adults what to do. Because you really are a boss bitch, but you also a bossy bitch, right? So kind of hone in on that shadow self so that you're responding and operating out of higher wisdom and not out of ego, right? Sip my water. The High Priestess is also that feminine energy. So if you've been really tuned in and connected to your divine masculine, this Aries season, this new moon in Aries is going to help you connect to your divine feminine energy. Your intuition, your inner guidance, your inner awareness, being self-aware. Self-awareness is what you're really being blessed with over this new moon in Aries. Being able to understand like how you've been problematic in the past and not judging yourself for it, just being like, yeah, I was kind of wilding in that situation. See, Four of Swords, and just taking some time to reflect. Some of you guys are going to be taking a well-needed vacation, a well-needed break, and maybe that will help bring some things into perspective for you. But with this Four of Swords energy, this is like you needing to take a pause to just like recharge your energy before you go back into what it is that you're doing. I don't know how to like, until you go back to what it is that you got going on. All right. You got the High Priestess and the Four of Swords. Make sure that you guys, pile number 3, are really meditating and sitting with spirit, sitting with your guides. I feel like you specifically have three guides that you really like cling to or cling on to you. 2 of them are feminine guides and 1 of them is masculine, or vice versa. All right, spirit. Let me pull this stuff out. All right. What other messages do you have for pile number 3 during this new moon in Aries? And see, High Priestess fell on, didn't I just say 3 guides, 3 people? 2 men and a woman. So maybe it is two men and a woman. And honestly, fuck gender, like 2 masculine energies and maybe 1 feminine energy or vice versa. But you definitely have some guides. This could be spiritual guides or 3 people that are really like, them your peoples, you know, like that's your tribe. Those are the people that are going to keep it real with you. Those are the people who you have a telepathic connection with. You guys are out in public. You're sitting at the restaurant. Some weird shit goes down. You don't need to say nothing, but you're talking with your eyes. You give that look and they're like, and then you get a text and then you kiki in. You know, it's like that kind of energy. It's a sense of familiarity. So spirit. And if you don't have that and you really want that, you really want to bring people in and let people into your life, then this is going to be the time to start setting intention. But I love that for you guys. Being surrounded by people that get you and people that don't take offense to who you are as well. Because you're just a spicy person. And that's okay. You're also very sexy too. You're also kind of sexy. But it's almost like you get sexier. I hate how this sounds, but I mean what I said. It's like you get sexier when you say less, when you reveal less, when you express less. It's like you just allow your energy to speak for you. You allow your swag to speak for you. You allow your accomplishments to speak for you. And that's kind of also how you become more humble as well. All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have for pile number 3 over this new moon in Aries? Okay, see. Too many. 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords. So here, this conflict, feeling limited. The Hermit, needing to take some time by yourself. Needing to take some time to understand yourself. There's that self-awareness. Okay, there's a lot. Three of Pentacles, Five of Cups, the Lovers, and the Ten of Swords. See, you guys really have to watch what you say to people, because this could really be a season where you lose relationships that you really value. I also feel like for some of you guys, you have partners, you're in a relationship with someone whose love language is words of affirmations, and that's just not your love language. But you need to make sure that you're incorporating that into, you need to make sure that you're incorporating that love language into how you interact with your person, because it makes them feel insecure. It makes them feel unseen. It makes them feel unappreciative, especially if this is someone who you're married to or someone that you live with or you're in a commitment with. Watch how you speak to them, because this could be watch what you say, because you can't take back your words. Very, very important to watch what you say, because I see someone saying something and kind of like, someone might be getting caught in a lie. Someone might be like, they say something and then it just opens a whole nother conversation that was just so unnecessary, and it's just like, if you just closed your mouth, none of this would have happened. So I'm trying to help you avoid these situations, because I feel like your mouth be getting you in trouble. Me too. I'm honestly just speaking to myself. The Hermit. Maybe your partner is a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or a Gemini. Okay? Or an Aries, because we do have this Emperor energy, and that's that divine masculine energy. This is you, like wanting to call the shots, wanting you to make sure that you're not being controlling, right? Make sure that you're not being controlling, y'all. You're not controlling others, but you're also not allowing other people to control you. That's very important. And then the Six of Pentacles with this Three of Pentacles energy, allowing people to support you, allowing your relationships and connections to support you. Some of you guys, this contract that's coming through for you, or this agreement that's coming through, is actually going into business. Maybe going into business with two other people, or working or deciding to work with two other people, bringing two people onto your team. So there's a lot of self-reflection. I feel like this was a read that y'all needed to hear. And I feel like other readers, you probably have, I feel like these are repeated messages that you get, but you haven't been wanting to hear it. But for some reason, I hope you hear it from me and you know that it comes from a place of love, because I see you because I am you. I see you because I am you. All right, Spirit. So what rituals would support pile number 3 during this new moon in Aries? Okay. Okay, here we go. Working with spirit and working with water. There we go. Working with spirit, high priestess energy, period. And the hermit energy too. I call upon angels humbly to protect my family, friends, and me from any unaligned, negative, or toxic people as we rest peacefully. And that is that 4 of I feel like there's this energy of wanting to be at rest, but there's so much dialogue, conversations, thoughts that are being entertained that is not allowing you or your family to be at peace. Where is that 4 of Swords? Where did it go? Where did she go? Okay, that's so weird. Oh, here she is. This is that 4 of Swords energy, needing to rest peacefully. So release. It is important that we embrace change. It is the only thing we can be sure of. Water can assist us in navigating the turn of the wheel as it helps to facilitate flow. Meditate on this characteristic of water when you find yourself in a time of transition, that you can move forward with ease. Yes, that's so funny. I mixed these two messages together. So this is working with water. When a cycle is complete, I flow gracefully to I flow to the next gracefully. When a cycle is complete, I flow to the next gracefully, because naturally you want to question. Naturally, you want to have conversations about how things are ending. You want to nip shit in the bud. You want to get down to people's intentions. As things change, as situations change, as circumstances change, dynamics change, just allow yourself to flow so that you can move with grace. Be fluid. Embrace that fluidity. And then working with spirit, I already read this to you guys. I call upon my angels humbly to protect my family, friends, and me from any unaligned negative or toxic energy as we rest peacefully. So this says, when we are vibrating high, showing up for ourselves and others in service of spirit, negative energies will try to bring us down to their level when we are most vulnerable. See, I feel like this negative energy is coming from social media, coming from he said, she say, conversations that other people are having. You really have to make sure that you're tuning out of that shit and kind of vibrating higher. So some of you guys are probably going to even be called to pay attention less, maybe turn off your comments, or spend less time on social media, spend less time just taking in other people's energies. Unaligned, stagnant, meddling, or malicious energy will be kept away and at bay by saying this spell before bed to ensure that you and your loved ones have a restorative sleep. I want to touch on this for a second. You have the Six of Pentacles and you have the Three of Pentacles. A lot of the work that you're stepping into in this new moon in Aries that has less to do about just you, even though you are calling the shots and this is like your thing that you're heading. These are things that is going to be that's going to allow you to hire and work with people within your community, and also just support people within your community, extend help, allow your community members, allow your friends and family to also help you. Be open to that energy. I know you're a boss, but sometimes the boss needs a day off. The boss needs a break. Okay? And that's okay. That doesn't make you any less of a boss bitch. All right, final messages from your ancestors. All right, Spirit, what messages? This pile number, I'm going to put that back. What messages pile number 3's honorable ancestors have to say to them during this new moon in Aries? Okay, I feel like some of you guys are going to be helping someone make decisions about going to school, or you're thinking about going back to school. If you have someone who can support you, this is a really good time to do it. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help if you want to take a course. If you want to build a course, you might be deciding to collaborate with someone on creating your own course. What messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay. Some of you guys are going to want to make some sort of physical change, whether you're going to thinking about getting a new tattoo, you're thinking about dyeing your hair, you're thinking about some sort of body modification as well. Consider your options, whatever that means. Spirit just said, consider your options. Because I see you wanting to make that commitment, but if there's a way that you can do something semi-permanent to like try it out, then that's a good way to see if it's going to vibe with you. Okay, my loves, that is everything that I have for you. I love you. Oof, I know there's a lot of energy here, but cleanse yourself, dust your shoulders off, and keep it pushing. Be open, have an open heart, an open mind, an open spirit, and just allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to grow. And being able to grow is acknowledging that sometimes you need people to help you grow. Sometimes you need different resources to help you grow. Sometimes you need to really be tapped in and connected with your ancestors. Sometimes we need an elder to go to help us, and that is okay. I know that you are used to leading and used to leading others and guiding others. But this is a really good season to kind of set intention and call on elders or people who are more seasoned in your in whatever roles or environments you're in, so that they can also support you and give their wisdom to you. So I love you guys. Let me know in the comments if these messages are resonating, and I will see you soon. Bye.